School building here in Cologne as Russia gets set to take on Slovakia. Ivan Telegin and his teammates will get some extra ice time tonight. So look at young Gudacek, Russia minus a few guys, Shane.
Well, they are. They've got a couple of guys coming in, Kuznetsov and Orlov. Andrei Vasilyevsky will get the start again. He has started every game and played it all except for one period where Ilya Sorokin came in relief. And at the other end, Julius Gudacek gets the start for Slovakia, and they will need him tonight. Mentioned Russia, they are without Artemi Panarin. He is day-to-day, but still so much powerful offense Russia has in this lineup.
These teams last met in 2015 in the Czech Republic, and Slovakia ended up taking Russia to overtime before Artemi Panarin, who is not in the lineup tonight, ended that one. And Russia right to the attack. Vasiljevic with the wrister from the left side that got deflected high. Janosic will send this out at center, and Miklik will dump it the rest of the way in. Back forward, Andronov swings it for Ivan Telegin. Telegin, a healthy run there from Gernat, and then Vasiljevic takes a run at Gernat. Gavrikov will play it back behind his own net, and Russia will start its first change of the afternoon.
I wonder if Slovakia is going to try and establish a bit of a physical element here against Russia.
They have the size to do it. Slovakia is certainly one of the bigger teams in this championship. Antipin for Anton Belov. Belov will wind it through the middle of the ice. Cross ice, pass, score! Yevgeny Dadonov will deflect this in.
Well,
Russia with the quick lead.
And you said coming in, no Panarin who plays on this line, but Nikita Gusev, who does during the KHL regular season with Dadonov and Shapachev. And he makes a great feed here, but up the ice, driving through. Dadonov leaves it, Gusev picks it up, and he gives Dadonov a tap in. This line connects again. Some quick passing and an early goal. Yevgeny Dadonov has Russia up 1-0. Shapachev, Gusev, Dadonov. Does not take long for that trio to go to work.
Second of the tournament for Dadonov, who is second on the team in ice time at over 73 minutes. A lot of that has to do with the power plays that Russia has had, but he does see plenty of ice time. So Russia with the early lead. Gusev with that pass. Russia right back to the attack. Kachev leaves it into the high slot, and Barabanov with the quick shot. So Valery Nichushkin is on this line with Barabanov and Kachev.
Well, just great passing on that goal. That is exactly not what Slovakia wanted to have to open up this game that early. Just quick passing, the speed and the skill at work. And Russia, boy, they feed off goals. They're the type of team that, you know, if you can keep it close for a while, you get a little frustrated, but if they can strike early, it might be a long night.
Kucherov throws this to the net. Off the sideboards, Ivan Provorov plays it down low. Nemestikov in a battle in behind the net there. As Sidivi tries to stay with him. Kucherov waits for it into the slot. There's the tic-tac-toe getting going again. And the fans love what they see. And Mironov will have to chase this back into his own end. So no Mozyakin, no Panarin. Nichushkin is in the lineup, and Kuznetsov and Orlov are on the way. Played through the middle of the ice. This will get sent in by Andronov. Telegin is after it. Plotnikov was down low. The pass never did get to him. And here comes Plotnikov again. Plotnikov ridden into the corner boards by Cherasnik. Bliznak and Telegin battle. Miklik on the loose puck. And Janosic will have some room. Pass beyond the reach of Bliznak at center. And Vasiljevic back in behind his own net.
Russian fans are into this one.
It's a Saturday afternoon in Cologne, Germany. Terrific atmosphere in this building, and it will be again tonight when Italy and Germany play. They were just short of a sellout for the first game today. Latvia and USA. USA coming back to win that one. They were down 3-1 at one time, won it 5-3, offside called at the Russian line.
Well, this is a young Slovakian team, and Zdeno Cigera, the head coach, has the task of getting them ready for this game against Russia. Basically, he said they're going to have to work hard, be strong on the pucks, and play for a full 60 minutes. So, early goal, he's going to try and get his team settled down here and see if they can fight back. Still lots of hockey left to play.
Youth and size on this Slovakian team. Pavel Skolicki, 21 years of age, 6'5", 207. Thomas Rinka, 25, 6'5", 214. Michael Tchaikovsky, 6'4", 218. Andrei Stasny is 6'3", 220. So lots of size. The challenge today is going to be able to skate with this Russian team. Skolicki finds a little bit of room, tries to bust his way in on Mironov. Drevecki with the shot. And the first save of the afternoon for Vasilevsky. Skolicki, as he runs into Mironov, the Colorado draft pick. Just play it back to Kovarov.
Just signed with Colorado, so looking to go to the NHL. Will go train this summer after this tournament and join the Avalanche.
Zapachov was signed before the tournament, and there's all sorts of rumors out there. Legally, you can't sign players during the tournament. We go back to a couple of years ago when Chicago signed Artemi Panarin, it was just before.
Stastny for Slovakia, so Slovakia is starting to get a little bit of pressure. So you're going to have to use that size to fight to the net. When we talk about Russia and how good they are offensively, defensively, they've only allowed 5 goals against. Very good there. We've mentioned some of the D they have. Provorov's been very good. Kiselovic, who had a big goal for them last game. And then let's not forget the last line of defense, Andrei Vasilevский, who's a very good netminder. Had a great year in Tampa as he took over when Bishop left.
Vasilevsky, 1.33 goals against average, 9.40 save percentage. And a shutout coming into this tournament. Puck bouncing around, big Andrei Stasny trying to muscle it in. And here we go. Mestikov saying, leave our goalie alone.
Well, Matusik right in top. Started with a chance off to the side. It was a turnover. Vasilevsky made the initial save. Slovakia looking for a call here, but a lot of bodies in there. There's the initial play in on the forecheck, and it's a turnover in front, and a good chance. I believe that's Stastny in front that had the initial opportunity, but in on the forecheck, Matusik. Vasilevsky sprawls out to make the save, and Cheapin and everyone gets involved.
Then the Mestikov with a big-time headlock on Matusik.
It wasn't comfortable.
No. Faceoff will come outside the line with everyone jumping in to get involved. The officials for this game, Mark Lemelin of Austria, Daniel Pechesnik of Germany, and the linesmen are Lukas Kohlmuller of Germany and Judson Ritter of the United States. Russia with the early goal up 1-0. As Evgeny Dudonov has his second of the tournament. Sailed high over top the net off the stick as Hashchuk tried to get that one on net. Hashchuk with 14 shots on goal leads Slovakia in the shots on goal category in the tournament. He had 8 in the game against Denmark. Off the boards, Gusev is after it. Gusev to the backboards with Gernat. Zapachov at the line, Belov the shot, and Julius Gudacek makes the save and holds.
Look at Vadim Shapachov to Donov as they connect with Gusev for the first goal of this hockey game, and Evgeny Dodonov 4 points in this tournament. Originally a Florida draft pick. Mentioned that line though, playing together in the KHL this past year.
We'll see a lot of different line combinations from Oleg Snarlak in this game because they are down a forward.
You mentioned this line had Panarin on it, and then when they switched it, they threw Panarin with Nemesnikov and Kucherov, which it's not a bad line either.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's 1 and 2. It's maybe 1 and 1A. Chingle gets to the line. That's as far as he gets. Chopped away from him. Juraj Mikuš will play it down to the side of the net. Mikuš gets it back. Tried to throw it into the pile. Did. Spin around in front of the net. And Kuderna gets stopped by Vasilevsky. 1-0. Russia. Dodonov with the goal.
Lots of games ahead in this World Championship, and in general, tickets are still available for the games. For most of the games at the box offices are on the website of the official 2017 IHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Looking to the crowd as some of the Russian fans are on their feet. Still early in this one, and a little bit of pushback here from Slovakia, and that's what you want to see. Good chance for them in front. And Vasilevsky so far has been able to stop what's come his way.
Slovakia coming off back-to-back shootout losses. Shootouts that they did not register a goal. 0 for 6 in the back-to-back nights. Nichushkin, the former Dallas Star, plays it back for Gavrikov. Save made Gudacek. Sursa to the far side boards with Kachov after him. Big Nichushkin in there as well. Nichushkin, 22 years of age. 6'3", 205, number 10 overall in 2013 to Dallas. Long shot from the line, deflected over top the net. Year 2 was a tough one in Dallas. He had some hip surgery. And a penalty, or is this offside? Offside. There was some head contact on a hit on the far side.
Kachov was trying to break free. Just a little bit ahead of the play. Gavrikov getting that shot through to the net. Makes the save, Gudacek, and then it's cleared out, a bunch of bodies.
2.81 goals against average for Julius Gudacek. .881 save percentage, 1 and 2, and his biggest save might have come in game 1 when he stopped Giulio Scandella on a breakaway in overtime, and they came back and won the hockey game. It's been a tough tournament for Italy as they moved up from Division 1 to this World Championship, but the fact that Denmark can't be relegated, Slovakia needs to be a little bit careful here, despite the fact only 1 point so far for Italy. There's a shot by Gusev in the high slot, steered away by Gudacek.
Well, the tough thing for Slovakia, too, is their last 3 losses were against teams in which they thought they could get at least 1 or 2 wins, that being Latvia, Denmark, and Germany. And they have the tough sledding here to finish off the schedule here, starting with Russia today.
USA tomorrow and then Sweden on Tuesday. Icing called here against Russia.
Nikita Kucherov, he's in on the play. Tampa Bay Lightning forward, him and Nemesnikov have played together, but quick passing from Russia. They have the ability to make plays, find open space, and get to those areas. As we look at Kucherov, a fantastic year with the Tampa Bay Lightning. For him, put up big numbers, 40 goals, 85 points.
Telegan across the line. Cleared away by Gudacek, kept in at the blue line by Mironov. Puts it behind the net where Plotnikov is on it. It's been a good tournament for Plotnikov. He'll lay it into the edge of the circle. Andronov, who has 3 goals in this championship, as does Plotnikov. Antipin the wrist shot, and Gudachek stopped that. Bliznak to center no further. Plotnikov plays it down the edge of the crease, and a redirect there by Sapachov, and Gudachek. Another good save.
Sapachov a little give and go with Plotnikov. Didn't get much on that redirect.
Dodonov back into his own end for Gusev. Nikita Gusev back for Dodonov. He'll drive it to the front of the net for Gusev. And the save made by Gudachek. Back in, chopped down, going to the net was Trinka. Battle now in the corner. Kaderna trying to come up with it. And play is being called.
Going to be a slashing call, but what a chance at the other end. Some great passing between Gusev and Dodonov for the chance, but coming back the other way.
Team Russia, 2 minutes for slashing.
It's going to be a slashing call to Russia. His first power play of the game is Bogdan Kisilovic goes to the penalty box for Russia. So Slovakia's power play gets the first chance of this game. Their power play 3 for 17. Look at Oleg Snarak. As good as his power play's been to penalty kill, they have not taken many penalties. They have killed 8 of the 9 they have.
Fewest shorthanded opportunities in the, or penalties in the tournament of all the teams. Only shorthanded, this being the 10th time. Gernat for Juraj Mikuš in the power play for Slovakia. Goes to work, but the pass was in behind Gudachek, and here comes Ivan Telegan. Telegan trying to drive it wide, lost his footing and went down. And Chingle back for Slovakia. Chingle will drop it at center ice. Gernat gives chase, as does Mikuš. And then the 2 defensemen will just curl back as this gets cleared all the way down the ice. Although Gernat, big Gernat, spends a lot of time in front of the opposition net on the power play. Chingle played it to the right side, but Gudachek was moving to the middle of the ice. So Chingle had to dump it in, and Mironov will get it out. And back for Mikuš. For Gudachek. He'll play it back. Bliznak to the line, and he lost his footing and then ran into Mironov.
Mironov stepped up. Maybe a good thing he did go down a little early.
Bliznak for Drevecki. Drevecki drops it off. Miklik up top, Charaznik sends it down low for Drevecki. Into the slot, Hastra couldn't get that shot through. And Charaznik trying to hold this in, deflects it into the Russian bench.
Charaznik, the overtime hero in the first game against Italy, and just can't keep this puck at the blue line. Look at Miklik. Michel Miklik, 3 goals, 5 points. He leads the way offensively for Slovakia. Veteran, one of the older players on this team.
Gavrikov clears. And there's Miklik back to retrieve it. Leaves it for Charaznik. For Drevecki. Drevecki spins it back. Charaznik has to put on the brakes, gathers it in, and then slams it around. Dying seconds of the power play. Gavrikov for Plotnikov, got away from him. Drevecki for Charaznik. Back for Drevecki. Kisilovic out of the penalty box. Miklik to the front of the net, save made. Vasilevsky. Miklik on the regroup. Plays it all the way back. Serson parks in behind his own net. Pittsburgh draft back in 2004. Gets it to the Russian line no further, and Serson tries it again. Belov breaks it up. Chops it ahead for Gusev, and Gusev comes near side to Donov. Has Gusev in front, Dodonov waits, and that was blocked by Tchaikovsky. On for Stastny, away from him, and Anton Belov will put it back into his own end. Zub sends this ahead quickly, the cross-ice pass for Dodonov, and Tchaikovsky with that long reach breaks it up at the line, and Matushek was getting ready to fire it. This is offside. 1-0 Russia here in the opening period.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the current game in Paris. As you can see, live footage on the screen. It's the game Slovenia versus Belarus. So the current score of the first period, Slovenia 0, Belarus 1. Ein Blick auf den Video für Zeitungslive-Bilder aus Paris vom Parallelspiel. Slowenien gegen Weißrussland. Statt Weißrussland wird
Дамы и господа, будьте минуты. В Париже проходит матч чемпионата мира хоккея 2017 года между национальными сборными командами Словении и Беларуси. Текущий счет 1-0 в пользу команды Республики Беларусь.
Zdeno Цигера, head coach for Slovakia, the former NHL player, 350 NHL games, New Jersey, Edmonton, New York Rangers, and Tampa Bay Lightning. Third time coaching Slovakia, did it in 2007, now back-to-back years in 2016-17.
He would be pleased, correct, about the way his team has responded after giving up the early goal?
I was going to say responded, maybe not the start, but I was quick, and then they've been able to bounce back. It's easy to just kind of get unraveled early against Russia with an early goal.
Ivan Telegin is dumped, and now the Russian power play running at 60%. Will go to work.
I was going to say that. Not pleased with that as Libor Gudachek takes defeat from under Ivan Telegin.
Team Slovakia, number
Telegin
79,
comes by.
2 minutes for tripping.
Takes defeat underneath. Telegin goes down, and you mentioned the 60% power play, 9 for 15. The only good thing is they're 0 for 3 last game against Denmark. 9 power play goals that came in 2 games against Italy and Germany. But Zdeno Cigera knows how dangerous it can be, and it's a tough penalty kill here and one they need.
Team Slovakia.
He's not a big fan of that kicking the leg off of someone.
Time 12 minutes 40 seconds.
Kuderna ties it up, and Tchaikovsky's on it and will swing it around the boards and send it down the ice. Slovakia has only killed 9 of 14 for a 64% ratio. So the percentages on this one aren't good for Slovakia. Gusev dishes it back for Sapachev. Dodonov heads to the front of the net. It's back for Gusev. Dodonov floats back about 15 feet to the high slot. At the line for Belov. Belov in for Sapachev. For Gusev. Gusev, Dodonov, score! They will take a look at this.
There's the setup. Gusev, Sapachev will play catch. Dodonov sets up front. You have the one-timers coming in from the point. And because they're covering the one-timers, that opens up to Dodonov right in front. And I believe this goal is in. Great pass by Gusev. And that is definitely in the net. In and out in a hurry as he goes over the left shoulder of Gudachek. And Evgeny Dodonov will have his second goal. Gusev, he's looking for that one-time shot. He gets Gernat to cover there. And all alone, right on top of the crease, Evgeny Dodonov. And he makes no mistake. Just gets it past Gudachek. So they're going to take a look at this, but I don't think it'll take long as those three connect again. So the exact same on the score sheet. Sapachev and Gusev both set up to Dodonov and all have 2 points in this game.
Power play is now 10 of 16.
It really is, and there's some penalties you're going to take, but the ones like where you stick your leg out, undisciplined calls, retaliation, You just got to eliminate them if you want to have a chance against Russia.
Here comes the call from Daniel Pachesnik.
After video review, the goal in the ice stands, we have a good goal.
So the Russian fans will get to cheer again.
Well, they wanted it for Dodonov. Another goal here as he's starting to heat up. 30 goals in the KHL with St. Petersburg, 66 points. Gusev had a big year with them. He had 71 points, fourth in the league. Sapachev, the other member of that line, he had 76 points, third in the league. So they were able to do it all season long, and they were put together last game. They look happy about it.
So the good news for Slovakia, no Mozyakin and no Panarin. The bad news for Slovakia, more ice time for Dodonov, Sapachev, and Gusev.
Time 30 minutes, 35. Both teams are playing at full strength.
Long shot steered away.
Der Torschütze mit der 63.
All the way around. Mironov will go back for it. Kachov.
Die Zeit 13 Minuten 35.
Plays it behind his own net. Provorov plays it for Mironov. And Mironov on the backhand will lift this in. Nichushkin going after it. Slap shot from the line, that went wide. NHL fans will remember Valeri Nichushkin from his days with the Dallas Stars, 3 years there. World Junior fans will remember Valeri Nichushkin from Ufa, when his overtime goal eliminated Canada. Cleared along the boards, and Kachov will drop it back. Mironov sends it down low. Barabanov for Kachov. Kachov to the front of the net. And a redirect there, and maybe a little whack on the hands as Kucherov shakes his left hand. And right back in for Nemestikov. Save, rebound. And Cherasnik almost put that back into his own net.
Boy, that was very close.
Kucherov and Gavrikov trying to go cross ice. Here's the night for Dodonov.
Well, he opened it up early. Nice passing as Gusev sets him up. Little tap in, and then on the power play, Gusev again. Right to Dodonov as he's parked in front of the net on the power play, and he goes over the shoulder. And 2 goals tonight, 3 in the tournament. Not a big guy at 5'11", 185 pounds, but the 28-year-old very skilled.
Well, the official line sheets that we get in IIHF competition, it is that line, Nemestikov and Kucherov, that doesn't have a winger. So that's where we see some of the rotation. Again, no Panarin and no Mozyakin. Quick shot off the face-off by Kucherov. Nichushkin is on this line now. Shot to the short side, and Vasilevsky off of Stastny makes the save.
Pressure from Slovakia as they get a chance coming in. Ziegel gets the shot. Some good work by Matusik on the forecheck. And the turnover right to Stastny. He lets the shot go. Ziegel in front. No rebound by Vasilevsky. He's able to hang on.
Ziegle's stick breaks off the face-off. Beloff for Telegin. Telegin got bumped. Plotnikov is on it. Plotnikov dishes it off. Barging to the net was Andronov. And he has it again. Sends it back for Plotnikov. Plotnikov off the corner boards. Into the slot. Quick shot Andronov. That got blocked by Grevecki. Or rather by Sidivi. Kept in at the blue line. Andronov looks one way, looks the other, carries it down low. Sidivi trying to stay with him. Plotnikov. And finally gets taken down. And that will allow Ziegel to control it and play it back into his own zone. The teams will start to change. Peter Triska Plays it in behind his own net. And then gets the return pass from Martin Gurnak. Cleared out at center ice. And then Triska back for it. Cross ice. Mikush through the middle for Chingle. And Chingle will send it in. And as Mikush now comes to the near side on the defensive change, and Gurnak floats across now to take the puck and send it right back in. They've gone up into the netting, but they're
Didn't catch it if it is.
going to let it go. Under 3 now, opening period. And a couple of goals by Dodonov. United States, as of now, in top spot in this pool, but Russia has played 1 game less, and this is the game right now, so we'll see how this one plays out. Surson plays it in behind the net, Drevecki. Cleared into the high slot, and that got away from Skalicki. Gudacek trying to send it back through for Skalicki. Carried back in by Kachov. Looking for Nichushkin, got away from him. Artem Zub in from the line. Zub to the front of the net, a little redirect there by Nichushkin. And grabbed off, and Tchaikovsky will skate it to center. Zub will take it back in behind his own net. That gets turned over. Slap shot, what a save by Vasilevsky on the shot from Haschuk. It changed directions, and Vasilevsky kicked that left leg out. Back in for Gusev. For Nemestikov. And he got tied up, and the puck taken away, and back up Cherasnik. Plays it deep, goes in after it. Around for Haschuk. And Nemestikov breaks it up for Ivan Telegin. Telegin, back door. He was looking for Anton Belov, the defenseman, who had jumped in. Nemestikov, Kucherov. Belov doesn't shoot it. Gavrikov sends it down to the goal line. Around the boards, or rather Mironov now with the shot, scores! Mironov with the floater from the line that finds its way in, and with 40 seconds left in period 1, it's 3-0.
Telegin's just battling in front. Gudacek doesn't see this at all. Pressure from Russia after a great chance and a great save at the other end of the ice. Telegin thought he took a bit of a high stick, goes right back to the front of the net, and this goes up and comes down. That is a tough one to stop. As Gudacek goes, Mironov just trying to get this through the net, and a bit of a roller that dips right over the right shoulder of Julius Gudacek. Andrei Mironov gives his team a 3-0 lead late in period number 1.
Change up for Mironov on the 17th shot of the period for Russia.
Well, and it's been all Russia. Slovakia just not able to generate much, and when they have, good chance like they just had. A big save by Vasilevsky.
Through center ice for Kachov as we like to enjoy some of the Russian fans. Zub. Russia will be content, perhaps not, to run out this period. Kachov right back in on the attack. Sidivi plays it out to center, an easy intercept there for Zub. And back in for Kachov is rather Barabanov time for one last chance. Knocked away up the left side wall, and the first period will come to an end.
The referees seem to have assessed it, and it is better. I don't know if it's perfect, but the ice conditions look better than it was just previous to doing the Zambonis coming out for the second time. So teams are ready to play here. Russia commanding lead after 20 as Slovakia will try and cut into this lead. The thing about Russia is 3 goals. That's still not enough for them. They'll continue to pour the offense on. They love to score.
So the two captains have said the ice is good enough to play. Thought maybe there was a conspiracy there, and Slovakia got to the Zamboni drivers and said, hey, if you could chop that ice and leave it a little rough, maybe help us out here a bit. Andronov in for Russia as the second period finally does get underway. Ground for Plotnikov. Gavrikov back for Plotnikov. And this gets sent up by Janosic and out at center ice. Miklik. Poke check there by Andronov. Has to take it back out at center. Sends it back into his own end of the ice. Janosic plays it through the middle for Chingle. Chingle's shot. And that's off the stick of Anton Belov and out of play.
That's what Russia's been able to do, just defend well. Oleg Znarok maybe a little more attention to detail. His defensemen have done a real good job. For Zdeno Cigera, he needs his team, not only do they need to try and slow down Russia, but when they generate offense, and I think try and get more shots to the goal, it's going to be off rebounds, off those type of plays where you got to battle for your territory.
Juraj Mikuš back at his own end. Plays it back, Chingle with the long pass up the middle. And now back to the attack, but that cross-ice pass was picked off. Nemesnikov. Back for Russia, Nemesnikov cross-ice. Barabanov, Antipin around for Nemesnikov. He got pinned to the backboards, and that allows Gernat to come up with it. Gernat the long floater up the middle. That didn't get anywhere. Mikuš has to hustle to the near side, and play is whistled down.
Barabanov just a little bit ahead of the play as he tried to chip it in. Some young fans in attendance. Not hard to tell who they're cheering for. They're happy right now as their team in the lead.
Chingle may have got away with one, and that puck is wide. Think he flipped the puck into the stands at the end of that play. And I suppose they could have called delay of game if they wanted to. Not the typical delay of game for overglass, but just for delaying the game. Backhander in front, save made, Vasilevsky, and the net comes off.
What a chance for Travacki. Vasilevsky makes the save at the same time. I believe he kicks the net off. It's a nice pass inside Travacki. Oh, goes to the backhand, and Vasilevsky looking to push off that right post. Power in those legs. Vasilevsky 6'3", 205 pounds. Makes the big save. Slovakia thought they had something to cheer about. A good chance, though, their best chance of the game.
We are a ways back here, but I do believe they have those protections down at ice level just for that reason, or maybe they don't, as they do in the National Hockey League. Kept in at the line, Travacki is on it. Twisting and turning, trying to find some space against Gavrikov. Finally flipped out at center by Gavrikov. Slovakia down 3-0 and in need of something. Long late pass, this was in behind Dodonov, and an icing call against Russia.
Some quick plays by Slovakia, almost had them behind the defense of Russia, and there's Dodonov, the 2 goals he has in this game, 3 in the tournament for Dodonov. Part of that dangerous line. Well, him and Sapachov are the 2 constants. And then they've had Panarin on their line for the first 2.5 games, and now Gusev half the last game, and so far this game, but doesn't really matter.
8.5 minutes for Gusev. And we talked about this before, that on the line chart that we get, there's no one on the line with Nemesnikov and Kucherov, and you wonder if that's not where Kuznetsov is going to slide in. He can play center or wing. Vasilevsky plays it for Gavrikov. Kasilovic. And he'll send this all the way down the ice. First on it, though, is Kachov. Kachov to the front of the net. Couple of whacks, score.
They might review this one. Kucherov coming in, and I'm not sure if this goes off his skate. He is charging the net. I don't know if he gets a stick on it. But a good job by Kachov. He able to beat out the icing call. And the officials are going to have a little conversation. Here's the play to the front, Kucherov. And that is off his skate. And that looks like he kicks it.
Yep.
So they will take a look at it. Gudacek was down at the one side, but a good play. Kachov makes it happen. Some good speed, gets ahead of the icing call, just throws it to the net. Nichushkin was there, that's where he was trying to get it to. And Kucherov following up the play. So another delay here as they'll review this goal or possible goal. So look at Nikita Kucherov. Watch his head as he goes in, looks down, then the right skate.
There's just that little push at the end.
A little extra push on that stop. And almost the angle of the skate changes a bit just to direct that puck. But you and I are both 0 for 1 on goal calls. There was a goal early in the tournament we thought should be a good goal and was reviewed that it wasn't. And there was a goal on the ice.
I had one with John Tripp that I was right on.
Oh, okay, sorry. The one with just me. I'm surprised. You seem to be right on everything.
I don't think this is going to count. Well,
that's just our little side pull. You've been winning, and I'm a little bit of a sore loser.
So they're going to review it. Our feeling is this will not count. That will give the Slovakian fans something to cheer about.
Well, you mentioned Orlov and Kuznetsov coming over. A couple more left-handed with Mozyakin and Panarin out. There's only 2 right-handed shots on the Russian team right now, in Gusev and Zub. So, interesting concept of that amount of left-hand shots on a team.
Now, we've been told that Panarin is just day-to-day.
They are.
Same for Mozyakin, as the referee still is in a conversation.
Well, Zdeno Cigera is hoping this goal does not count. His team had a chance earlier on. The captain Trevecki in close, and Vasilevsky able to make the save. And it's been a long start here. They had to redo the ice, and now Kucherov waits to hear if this one will count. Another look at the goal as he's driving the net. The rebound comes, the right foot goes. It's that last little push that you said, Dennis, to me, that discounts this, to make sure he pushes that puck across the goal.
Fans are getting a little restless. Well, we'll take a second. We'll mention a coaches symposium that is going on this weekend here. Dewey Krupp, who played for the Colorado Avalanche and scored a Stanley Cup winning goal, coached Germany for a while. He will be one of the speakers. Tom Rennie, Melody Davidson, John Whiteside, who you know well from Boston. Now here comes the call.
After video review, the call on the ice stands. We have a good goal.
0 for 2.
Yep.
Well, he was driving the net. It was that little extra push at the end, but this is a good goal. And it is 4-0 Russia. So Nikita Kucherov with his 4th of the tournament.
All started with what could have been an icing call, but good hustle by Kachov. Now that may have been a bit of a set play as well. And he was first on the puck, so Kachov and Kasilovic with the assists on it. Gudacek back into his own zone. Plotnikov is in after him. Andronov. Puck finally does get jammed loose. And sent ahead for Miklik. Miklik through the middle. Gudacek deflects it in. Cross ice for Miklik. Miklik to that backside. That goes wide. Hashtag is after it. Tries to play this to the front of the net. Does. No one there. Ends up back at the line, and Gernat trying to get that for Hashtag, and this just gets cleared out to center ice by Ivan Kovarov. Back in for Thomas Hrinka as they pile into the corner. Nemesnikov, Chingle all battle for a loose puck. Finally, it comes loose. Chased to the near side by Gernat. Back at the line, and a broken stick on the attempted blast from Kaderna. And Nemesnikov now. Nemesnikov for Plotnikov, and that got stopped by Gudacek. Plotnikov on the wraparound, put it right through the crease.
I think it went off his defenseman's stick as Gernat might have blocked that, or Mikush in front, and Gudacek had to be sharp.
Lead pass for Kucherov. He'll drop it back, cross ice, and Gudacek with the saver. Did that go in and out?
I'm not sure. I think he made the save. There's some good passing. Plotnikov, couple of good plays here with Kucherov and Nemesnikov on this line.
Anton Belov. 4-0 Russia. Surson back for it. He gets pressured there by Barabanov, and then Surson wins the battle. Sends it ahead for Libor Gudacek. He'll get to the red line and send it in. Kasilovic chops it off the boards. And an odd man rush. Dodonov has two on the near side, looking for three, and Gusev tried to get it to him and then got in too deep, and he just put it on net.
Gusev almost tripped and fell as he tried to fake and move it over. What a pass, though. Here's the other little rush. Nemesnikov, nice little move around center after Kaderna broke his stick. And that did go off the stick of Gernat. Gudacek able to push it to the side, and then a nice save here. Quick little tic-tac-toe shot by Plotnikov. Gudacek made the save, but just the way he reacted to it, didn't know where it was looking behind him.
Good play off the face-off. And this gets cleared back in. Stastny trying to work it free, get some help there. Big Tomas Matushek. And now it's stolen by Stastny and Vasilevsky. A good right leg save on the quick shot from Zigo. Back through center for Mironov, and he'll drive this in. Kriska. As Slovakia down 4 starts back. To the line for Stastny. Stastny trying to get a shot away, does, and that is off the stick and into the netting. 4-0 Russia.
Kucherov has Russia up 4-0 in this game. Bit of controversy on the goal, but it stands as a good one. He went off his skate a little play to the net, and as he came in and stopped, it's a good goal. Russia in command of this game, although Slovakia's had a couple of good chances. And another one.
And yet another one, and Vasilevsky will hang on to this. 4th point, 4th goal, and 8th point of the tournament.
And you wonder how hard it is. He hasn't seen a lot of shots, but some of them have been very good, and he has been able to make the saves when called upon. Little reaction save with the left pad in the first. This is in the second. He stops Rebecki in all alone. Right pad save of Zigo coming down, and then this last one off the face-off. But very good when they need them.
You see there, faced 11 shots, and 5 or 6 of his saves at least have been very, very good. Beloff feeds Nichushkin in his first game. Plays it down, Kachev hits to the front of the net. Kucherov tried to get it there, could not. And Nichushkin back for Kachev. Back for Nichushkin. Talked about his days in Dallas, now plays in the KHL for CSKA Moscow.
When he had a good rookie season, you mentioned his second year. His rookie year was a good year for him. He put up some points that year, and then just injuries got him.
Miklik with the shot. Vasilevsky, who has been sharp, makes another good save.
Well, 34-year-old Miklik coming down that right side. Nice little play by Hatchik. Passes inside, quick shot. That is a well for
Vasilevsky. Taking it center by Telegan. He and Kaderna going after it. And Slovakia will clear. Provorov, Mironov, and back for Provorov. Winds his way in and finds a little bit of room. Takes it deep and goes in after it. Good hit, and there's going to be a penalty. Ivan Telegan is going to go for a hit in behind the net on Chingle.
It's going to be an interference call. Telegan will head over to the penalty box, and Slovakia gets their second power play of this game. Chingle moves the puck, and it is a late hit. Nice pass up the middle. Good thing it didn't pick off, and there's looking in the rock. Russia 1 for 1 on the penalty kill in this game.
Talked about some of the young players on this Russian team, and even some of the young players on this Slovakian team. And you wonder with the Olympics coming up, if the NHL doesn't go, are some teams looking at some of these younger players to see where maybe they would fit in?
Absolutely, I think that's part of it right now, is a little bit of an evaluating process, you know, taking where you have what you'd like in an A schedule, A group, and if they can't get the NHL, what options would you have?
Miklik into the slot, drops it back and then gets it back. Drevecki, Miklik as the power play goes to work for Slovakia. Cheraznik looking for a shooting lane. Down for Drevecki. Drevecki back up top. Slap shot save. Rebound. Vasilevsky a couple of more real good saves. The blast came from Gudacek at the line, and Big Skalicki couldn't tap that home. Cheraznik sends it down low. Gudacek for Skalicki. Tried to work it to the front of the net. Got away on him. Gavrikov tried to clear, could not. Drevecki. Cheraznik, Libor Gudacek the shot, another save. They'll do it all over again. And that hit a leg in front. Quick shot by Mario Blesnak, never got to the net. Now a chance in front, Vasilevsky, another big save off of Blesnak. Wow.
Exactly. This is the frustrating part. for Slovakia is you're able to generate that many good chances. And then you got Vasilevsky, who looks sharp in net. Everything that's come his way, some big saves there. This was the chance early. Hastra in front. What an opportunity. Just tried to outweight his Hastra, tried to outweight him. And Vasilevsky stayed right with him. Didn't bite at all. Just good movement along that crease.
Slovakia outshooting Russia 8-6 here in the second period. Anton Belov trying to get loose, and then he got spilled. Heads back to the net and breaks the play up. Good play by Anton Belov. Jingle back in front and a quick release by Kuderna, and that just went wide. Kuderna another shot, and he had to contend with the stick of Barabanov. Telegan out of the penalty box now. But it has been all Slovakia here for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
That's one of those power plays. They did everything right, but put the puck into the back of the net.
Gudacek after it. And this will get set by Kachev ahead for Ivan Telegan. Telegan across the line. Telegan will drop it. Russia interchange. Wrist shot. That never got through. And Kucherov is on it. In the slot for Dodonov. Rink wide, Sipachev with the quick release. Kept in by Dodonov again. Again looking for Kucherov on that far side. Kucherov carries back in, looking for Dodonov. Dodonov plays it back into his own zone. Kovarov from Zub, back for Dodonov. He'll drop for Sipachev over to Gusev. Gusev's shot, and that is up and out of play.
Some good passing all the way around. Dodonov taking a shift out with Kucherov and Nemesnikov. Gusev with a quick release there off transition, and that one high and wide. 2 shots, no goals today. Gusev does have 2 goals in the tournament and 5 points. Nice setup though, twice to Dodonov.
Russia looking to regain top spot in the A pool, as USA with an earlier win over Latvia has taken over top spot, but the US has played 1 more game than what Russia had. 4 straight goals today from USA after they trailed Latvia 3-1. And the last one, an empty netter from Dylan Larkin, his first of the tournament, but Larkin has a point in every game. Dodonov for Gusev, and for Sipachev, back for Gusev, and back for Sipachev, cross for Antipin, back for Sipachev, knocked off his stick. Dodonov on it, makes sure it is deep, and then heads to the bench, and that line makes its way off. Janosic is after it. The long pass up the middle. Off a stick and back in for Ivan Telegan. Telegan ran into Cherasnik there. Cherasnik sends it to the line. Nikolic plays it out. And back in for Telegan. He'll lead for Plotnikov. Puts on the brakes against Chingle. Finds Zub at the line. Telegan with an empty net. Banks it off the netbinder and in. 5-0.
Some good work by Telegan, gets this puck in deep, and then just a simple point shot. And you said the bank by Telegan as this comes off the back. He's going to bank it off Gudacek. He's the player that goes to the front of the net, just banks us off the glove and in. Plotnikov, a real nice feed, quick shot. Telegan left all alone, and Gudacek almost trying to put the glove on him, grab him. You can see that just gets across the line. And complete control of this game. And you go back, how big those saves were by Vasilevsky. Anytime Slovakia started to mount pressure, They haven't been able to beat Vasilevsky, come down the other way, and now Telegan has them up 5-0.
One thing in these international events, you can always tell by the fans how the game is going. Which country's ahead, which country's struggling.
The number 16, time 32 minutes, 50 seconds.
Surson. Ahead for Skalecki. Skalecki will chase this in. Taken by Kachov. Nichushkin couldn't get anywhere. Gudacek trying to get it back to the blue line. That's picked off, and here comes Nichushkin. And Nichushkin with the shot. That went wide. On it is Kucherov. Twisting and turning. Kucherov trying to lose the checking of Tchaikovsky. To the front of the net, that changed directions. And Gudacek may have got a piece of that with his left skate. Right back in for Russia. Gusev, the wrist shot, ripped it wide. Sipachov waits for everyone to get onside, has to play it back into his own end. And back in across the line, offside is called. Under 6 to go here in the second. Russia in command.
Look at Ivan Telegan, who has the last goal for Russia to put them up 5-0. Telegan originally an Atlanta draft pick, 4th round back in 2010. Spent some time in the OHL between Saginaw and Barrie. Plays for CSKA Moscow. Also played some American Hockey League games, but in the KHL the last few seasons.
Russia in control, taken by Belov. Cologne, Germany, and Paris, France, the host cities for this 2017 World Hockey Championship. Got a chance to walk around Cologne a little bit, lots to see. Gusev in the high slot. Gusev lets it go. That's off a leg to the corner. Sent back in deep by Antipin. And now controlled, cleared away by Sedivi. And it's on for Stastny. He got stopped by Belov. And back to intercept that pass with Zigo, and he'll clear this all the way down the ice. They wave off icing. Of course, one of the most visited landmarks in the world is the Cologne Cathedral, which is kind of between the rink and our hotel. In the corner, controlled Russia back on the attack. No Panarin and no Mozyakin in the lineup for Russia.
As we mentioned, big pieces don't want when it gets down to it, but right now there's still lots of offense here for Russia.
And on the way, Kuznetsov and Orlov from the Washington Capitals. And Mestikov got dumped in behind the play and makes his way to the Russian bench somewhat slowly.
Not sure if one of the defensemen, maybe Tarasnik, somebody made contact. The Mestikov slow to get up and make his way over to the Russian bench. Behind the play, actually makes contact.
Does he get spun around by Kucherov and then take a bit of an elbow?
I'm not sure. Looked like a harmless play and nothing intentional, that's for sure.
Martin Gernat will play this in. And Bogdan Krasilovic ahead for Ivan Telegan. Telegan couldn't make contact with that pass, and icing called against Russia.
Look at Krasilovic, who had the goal last game against Denmark, and there's Zdeno Cigera trying to get his young Slovakian team going. A while for Slovakia. 2012 was their last medal. They had a silver before that. They had back-to-back years with medals, a gold in 2002 and a bronze in 2003.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding for Slovakia. They will host the World Championship in 2019.
Well, some of their best Slovakian players aren't young anymore. I know that because I played with them, that being Marian Hossa and Zdeno Chara.
And this will leave the playing surface and we'll get a stoppage in play, yes, but lots of hockey history in Slovakia.
To join the game.
Taken by Grivecki. Plays it for Hudacek. Hudacek's pass through the middle never got through. Kucherov back on the ice. It's around the boards it goes. Nichushkin is there. Pass is beyond his reach. Intended for Skalicki and it got away from him. Russia trying to work it up the boards as Mironov can't. Kept in by Hudacek. Hudacek drops it off. Skalicki trying to take it to the net. Wrap around try. It's on the goal line. And Vasilevsky will hang on to that. Pavel Skalicki, 6'5", 207, using his size.
Well, and good movement by them. Little interchange. Skalicki on the switch, able to get separation, and that comes so close to going under the skate blade. Vasilevsky gets there just in time, and puck trying to slither underneath between the ice and the blade, but eventually finds it, puts the glove on top of it, just to make sure. A good second period for Vasilevsky.
Battle in the corner. Quick shot by Matushik, and that ends up in the corner. Antipin after it. Stastny tied up by Antipin. Stastny works it loose, but Dadonov was there to try and clear it, could not. And now Gusev sends this ahead. Sapachev, Dadonov, and back for Sapachev, and that got tipped away. Sapachev trying to set up Dadonov for his third of the game.
Oh, great outlet pass, Gusev right away, and that's part of that chemistry those guys have. We get a penalty here.
Belov is going for holding.
Doesn't seem like he wants to go.
Nope. It's the other way around. Zigo is going for holding.
Slovakia penalty number 42. 2 minutes for holding.
Second power play of the game is Tomasz. Zigo heads to the penalty box. They go to the corner with Belov, and you could call that a holding. Free arm, stick around. As soon as you take that bottom hand off the stick, stand and wrap it around, you're gonna get the call. So Zigo in the penalty box. Russia 1 for 1 on the power play in this game, and you mentioned earlier 10 for 16 in the tournament.
Russia winning the face-off. Provorov, as the power play goes to work, down for Kucherov. Mironov, or rather Provorov up top, sends it down low. Plotnikov back for Kucherov, tried to get it back for Ivan Provorov. That got deflected away, and Kaderna will spin and fire this ahead for Lukas Chingle. Chingle carries in, puts on the brakes against the checking of Provorov, and then takes a bump on the play from the Mestikov, but manages to keep the puck in the Russian zone, at least for a few seconds. Now he gets a little bit of help, and now finally brought up by Kucherov. For Plotnikov, back for Provorov. Provorov down to the goal line, and the or the circle, and the slap shot from Kucherov. Kerem's back out at center and back short-handed. Lead pass in on Vasilevsky.
I think they got a shot away out of the air, and Vasilevsky comes with another save.
That one is off Brinka.
1 minute left in the second period.
Final minute of the second period. Kucherov is on it. Over for Sapachov. Plotnikov heads to the bench. Belov. Back for Kucherov. Dodonov. Back for Sapachov and in for Gusev. And back for Sapachov for Belov. He drills it. That high tip from Dodonov, and that went high. Sapachov on it again. Gets it back for Kucherov, and another good save by Julius Gudachek. Dodonov, power play is over. Great puck control by Russia. And now offside. What happened was, one of the Russian players thought the puck was leaving, Sapachov thought the puck was leaving the surface, or leaving the zone, and he started going off the ice with 0.8 seconds left.
Oh, why not? There's a look at Renko, who had a good chance in on Vasilevsky. And all the shots they tried, they're trying to find Dodonov for that hat trick. Belov and Kucherov for the high tip. Well, Russia in complete control of this game. They'll basically drop this puck. That'll be the end of the period. 20 minutes to play. Russia looking to end this one and move back into the top. Thinking he would light back as it banked off him. Another one, the Kucherov goal under question. Looked like it was a kicking motion or a stopping motion, but ruled a good goal. We'll see what happens here in the final 20.
Taken at center and right back into the Slovakian zone to start period number 3. Bliznak, one of several Slovakian players to have a great scoring chance. Turned over, and again Vasilevsky came across and makes another save off of Bliznak. Made it look easy. And now this gets shoveled into the paint, and he will hang on to it.
Oh, look at Miro Bliznak had a great chance. Led all Slovakian players after 2 periods with 13-11 ice time. There's the turnover. Miklik was off his stick, and Bliznak just hurries to that puck, quick shot, trying to find some room low, but Vasilevsky's pads right to the ice. No room, no hole as he makes the save.
You saw up in the right-hand corner there, 18,591 in attendance this afternoon, sold out, so over 36,000 fans have been in this building for the 2 games.
Gernat's going to get an elbowing penalty here for Slovakia as gets it up on Gusev. In a very dangerous situation when he goes short-handed against Russia, although they did kill one off. Russia's 1 for 2 on the power play in this game. Just a pinch down the wall and follows through with the elbows. He's trying to be physical, and it's one way to wake up. A little stiffing salt.
Belov doesn't shoot it. Kucherov sends it for Gusev. Gusev back for Belov. To the goal line it goes. Cleared by Sapachov, in from the slot, sharp angle chance for Gusev, and he misfired. Taken by Dodonov. Sapachov had to get away from him. And the pass back goes down the ice, and Vasilevsky will come out and play it. Quickly right back in. Belov finds Kucherov, who finds Dodonov, who finds the goalpost. Sapachov. Rink wide to Dodonov at the side of the net, took a couple of swings at it. Sapachov, Kucherov, in for Gusev. Slap shot, Kucherov blocked.
They're trying to find Dodonov on just about every play here to get that third for him.
Gusev plays it back. Kucherov, Sapachov, and he mishandled it. Back to Belov. In for Dodonov and back for Belov. Sapachov. Kucherov. And ouch. That was blocked. Redirect by Dodonov and the save made. And Skalicki will limp his way to the Slovakian bench.
Well, complete command. Here's Gusev. He couldn't get all of that. Just a tough angle. Gets it away. Just not the right play. Here's another one to Dodonov. This is going to go off the post. And wide. Glove side on Gudachek. They're getting Dodonov. They just want him to get that third, then they can pass to someone else. Just complete control, though, on that power play. Great puck movement. Dodonov's so good in that middle. They get into trouble on the wall to help alleviate pressure. He pops over almost in a rover situation.
Russia has medaled each of the last 3 years under Oleg Narok. Bronze, a silver, and then a gold. Reverse that. Gold was back in Minsk. That was his first. Sapachov. And right now, it'd be tough to say that they're not going to medal again. Shot to the short side, and Julius Gudachek makes the save off Antipin.
Antipin thought he had some room. Had Sapachov open on the other side, but went for the shot. Quick change here, only 4 seconds remaining in that penalty. To Gernat of Slovakia. There's Telegan, who has a goal in this game, his first goal of the tournament.
Thought we might see Jan Lazo here in the third period, but they may have Lazo penciled in to take on the United States tomorrow.
Both teams are playing at full strength.
Telegan, as the power play has come to an end. Cross ice pass, and Hashchuk breaks that up and plays it back to the Russian line. Andronov sends it back, and here comes Plotnikov. His pass through the middle, redirected. Back in for Hashchuk. Tries to get it to the front of the net. Andronov couldn't handle it. Bliznak, or Tchaikovsky in from the line. Rebound, and another save by Vasilevsky. And this will be icing.
Great chance for Hashchuk. There was goalie contact before that, but no call. We've seen less contact called than that, but Hashchuk has had his opportunities. Nikolic makes contact with Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky, good credit to him. He brushes it off, moves back into position. Watch, there's focus. He's watching the puck the whole way. Good push off right back against the post. Takes it off the mask to make the save.
And in the presence of Manya to kick that left pad out. Make sure it's out of the crease. Juraj Mikuš, the shot deflected wide. Hrinka going in after it on the near side. Hrinka gets a couple of cross checks from Zaprikov, and it's around the boards. Sent back and taken now by Gavrikov. Out through center ice for Plotnikov, looking for a little bit of room. Plotnikov, short side try, Gudachek the save. Rebound around for Hrinka. Stopped at the line by Belov, and then Nichushkin gives chase on Juraj Mikuš. Played through center, no one home, and Russia takes over with a quick lead pass for Nichushkin. Nichushkin tees it up, save made, Gudachek, rebound! Kachov in tight, drilled out over top the net. And that will leave the playing surface.
Good play in close as they get it to the net. Big rebound. Look at Marinov, who has a goal in this game. Andrei Marinov put them up earlier. His first of the tournament. Russia yet to get a goal here in the third period. Tchaikovsky, big physical defenseman for Slovakia.
Barabanov out there now with Nemestikov and Kucherov. Zub sends it ahead for Nemestikov. Goes wide on Tchaikovsky. Kucherov for Artem Zub. Zub tried to play it back down low. Stilicki breaks it up. Zub holds it in though. Looked to go cross ice and then decided to just try and send it down the boards, and that got picked up and sent back down the ice, and another icing called against Slovakia.
Well, Slovakia just trying to get something going as Gudachek sends it down the ice. And Libor Gudachek he has 2 goals in the tournament, and right now his team having trouble finding any.
Gudacek had the big goal in the opening game against Italy. They were down 2-1, tied it up at 18:56.
Playing in his 5th World Championship.
Zdeno being watched by Gudacek. And Julius Gudacek is going to slide out and hang on to this.
A little bit of a fly ball. There's a look at Nikita Gusev. He's got a couple of assists in this game. A few whistles here. Slovakia looking for a little bit of energy. Much jump. They had it in the second. It's almost deflating. Those chances they had just weren't able to capitalize.
Italy and Germany, our last game of the day, and we are expecting Leon Draisaitl to be in the German lineup. Marco Sturm asked about it yesterday. Not that they would need him against Italy, or they shouldn't, put it that way. Penalty coming up, need him against Italy. Still have to play the game. And now the call on the penalty, but Marco Sturm saying, I don't think I'd be able to keep him out of the game.
Oh, he's from here. Very, very popular. Paper's all excited that he's coming back. Triska's going to take a penalty here. Zdeno just slips by, and there's that leg out again. Dangerous play. That's just being too slow to the area. Quicker player tries to get by. In reaction, you stick that leg out. Take a look at Triska for Slovakia. So power play for Russia. 1 for 3 in this game.
And I would suspect we'll see them try and set up Evgeny Dodonov again. Dodonov in his 4th World Championship. 30 World Championship games coming into this. He had 26 points. Kucherov for Gusev. For Sapachev, in for Dodonov, and save made by Gudacek.
So good at reading the open space, just the chemistry between those 2 players.
Great pass back for Anton Belov, and that is blocked. As Hrinka got in front of it. Sapachev on it again. Kucherov back for Belov, left pad save made Gudacek. Good hustle by Sapachev, got to it ahead of Surson. Played back, and the slap shot from Sapachev went high. Kucherov at the left point. Down for Gusev. Into the slot, Dodonov leaves it. They get it back to Dodonov, and then a good defensive play there by Bliznak to poke that away before Gusev could fire it home. Wrist shot goes off a stick and out of play.
Vegas Golden Knights, we don't know how the adjustment will be to the NHL, but I'll tell you what, Sapachev is one heck of a playmaker. Just his skill, talent, undeniable. Here's the pass to Dodonov as Dodonov moves over the open space. Sapachev acts like he's going to go behind the net out the other side and throws it the side he came, and a good chance for Dodonov, but those 2 players play together and have built that ability to read off one another.
Sapachev very good at face-offs.
Well, he just reads the ice so well, and he can feather the pass through a tight area. Sees it. Fun to see what can happen.
Dying seconds of the power play for Russia. Telegan across the line. Telegan gets stopped. Puck isn't cleared though. Plotnikov. All the way back to the right point. Arden Zub let the shot go. Save made. And Julius Gudachek will hang on to that slapper that the clock here says was 127 kilometers an hour.
Congratulations and a big cheer to Mr. Shen Müller for being Slaughter fan of the game.
Talk about Nemestikov and Kucherov. Gusev was a Tampa Bay pick back in 2012. 24-year-old in his first World Championship. Zub gets the center and sends it in. So Slovakia has killed the last 3 shorthanded situations they've been in. Some of that has to do with Russia simply trying to set up the Donov. Bliznak plays this through and Haschuk, but it's offside.
Russia's just not allowing anything to get going for Slovakia. So look at some of the players.
There's Orlov, Kuznetsov. And we expect them to be in the lineup tomorrow. Again, no Panarin or Mozyakin in this game. Lead pass through the middle. Gets deflected in. Kept in at the line by Gavrikov. Centered by Kachev. Taking it to the net, Nemestikov, and he couldn't get a shot away. And Triska chases him down to the far side boards. Taken now by Kachev. For Gavrikov. They play give and go. Kucherov back. Shot, and that was deflected. And that just went wide. Zigo down low, takes it for Slovakia. On at center, Matushik for Stastny. Stastny's quick low shot went wide. Controlled by Nemestikov. Through for Nichushkin. Nichushkin trying to bust his way around Cherasnik. And couldn't, and then Cherasnik knocked big Nichushkin down.
Good play by Cherasnik, both on the defensive play just to get it to the corner and then follows through with the big hit. Cherasnik, big like Nichushkin, also 6'4", 210.
Pass was too far for Matusik to handle, and he'll head to the bench on a change, and Provorov back into his own zone. Provorov sends it cross ice. This will get sent in. Off the backboard, Slovakia trying to control. Ahead it goes for Haschuk. And he'll send the right wing pass out at center for Miklik back near side. Haschuk trying to center it, turns to the forehand, and the shot never got to the net. Back out front, Vasilevsky keeps an eye on this bouncing puck. And it's chopped ahead. Barabanov makes sure it gets out.
Antipin, who's usually a defenseman because they have 7 D11 forwards, taking some shifts on the line here.
Well, this is getting ice
Playing
time.
a little bit of forward.
And across for Gusev, backside! Sapachov, and he chipped it wide. Belov. In front for Gusev, wraparound try. He got knocked down. Good play defensively by Chingle.
More passing from this line. Just right there, a couple good chances. One for Sapachov, one for Gusev.
Russia back in on the attack. Drop for Sapachov. Rink wide, bounces around in front of the net, and Belov couldn't bury it. Back to the line for Gavrikov. In for Sapachov. Tchaikovsky picks up the chase on him, down for Gusev. Gusev back for Sapachov. Near side to Donov. Trying to twist away from Chingle. Tchaikovsky wraps Sapachov up and took him down. Dodonov now. Gavrikov, Dodonov to the goal line looking for Gusev, and he chipped it wide. Back in front of the net, shot by Gavrikov, and that got blocked by Surson.
The display of passing around that line, the defenseman getting into the act, but great puck movement in the zone. The Slovakian players needed a change back there as the legs were a little weary.
Triska cross ice for Drevecki. Libor Gudachek will play it down deep, and Russia just goes back and starts right back up the ice. Andronov tried to whip it to the front of the net. Telegan is on it. And back for Zub, and this is into the netting. 7:38 left to go here in the third. Russia in control.
Paris, as footage on the screen. It's the game Slovenia versus Belarus, and the final score is Slovenia 2, Belarus 5. Afrika Paris auf der Umgebung mit allen Heimbilder vom Armee-Spielen. Doch spielt Slowenien gegen Weißrussland. Aktueller Spielstand im dritten Drittel 5:2 für Weißrussland.
Zdeno Cigera, his team down 5-0, but it has been all Russia just dominating here in the third period. Slovakia only has 2 shots in the third. So we just want to see this clock wind down and try and keep any more from going into their own net.
Belarus leading Slovenia 5-2, so it looks like Belarus on its way to its first win in this tournament.
Tough goal for Belarus this year and for head coach Dave Lewis.
Slovenia and Italy were the 2 countries that qualified last year. And that is a final now, Belarus winning. So Dave Lewis and his coaching staff will have something to be a little happier about. Andronov trying to lose the checking of Triska. Z goes on the loose puck, but he turned it over. Andronov, backhander, sharp angle. By the time he got control of it, and Gudachek makes the stop.
Well, more of a grinder line here for Russia, but still a lot of skill. And Andronov, who has 3 goals in 3 lane, tight little play there, and that's where he loses right when he's going to get it and lifted him over Gudachek. Eventually, off to a far angle, just throws it back at the net. Plotnikov and Telegan right in front. Look at Andronov, who now has the A on. The C who Mozyakin had went to Belov, and Belov's A to Andronov. So some movement for the trainers.
One of the youngsters getting a letter. Niklik sends this through. Hashchuk couldn't get the shot through the Russian defense. Hashchuk goes after it. Junosik jumps in from the blue line. The pass goes to Niklik though. Back to the front of the net, and a little too deep was Bliznak. Chiraznik from the right point, the shot, and a bit of a tip and another save by Vasilevsky. Russia back in, a bit of a high hit there. Junosik
Jumped.
and no call, and wow. Nemesnikov looking back at the referee.
Yeah, it's the Rock right now. He's got his foot standing on the bench. With good reason.
He is. He's still standing on the bench. to the front of the net, cleared away, and Juraj Mikuš is on it. Jingle will play this out at center ice, and it's carried in. Artem Zub recovered in time. Here comes Chance. Grevecki carries it to the front of the net, scramble. And Vasilevsky will get a hold on that, and play will be called. Juraj Mikuš charging it to the net.
Here's Nemestikov, and that is arms up, jump by Janosic. It's Iraq. Can't believe how there's no call. And I have to agree with him on that play. It's a very careless play by Janosic. Nemestikov just trying to cut back, but no injury, which is a good thing.
Barabanov plays it back into his own zone, gets up to center, just gets cleared in. Gudacek will leave it in behind the net. And Tikin was pinching in from the line, but the puck gets cleared. Here comes Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky goes cross ice. Backhanded down low by Grevecki for Gudacek. Gudacek back for Tchaikovsky, and that's steered away by Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky, the last goal that he allowed was with 50 seconds left in the game against Germany. He's gone now over 115 minutes without allowing the goal, and he has made 43 saves in that span, Vasilevsky has. And a lot of his saves in this game were very good ones. Skalecki can't get anywhere. Sapachov after it. Gavrikov trying to hold the line, and Triska tried to play it across, picked off, and a chance down low, and Dodonov couldn't bury it. Gavrikov scores.
Sapachev's going to feed Gavrikov after Dodonov missed on the one side, so that'll be 3 assists now for Sapachov. That'll tie him with Panarin for 10 points on the team and to lead all scorers in this tournament. Here's the turnover. Gusev creates it. Dodonov shot wide. Sapachov steps right in. Gavrikov gets it, and he wires it to the top corner as Gudacek tries to recover from a bit of a pile-up in front. A good shot. Gavrikov gets his head up, aims for the corner. There's a Slovakian player behind Gudacek on that goal.
So Gavrikov gets his first World Championship goal.
Assisted by number 87, Vadim Shivachov. Number 60,
Blue Jacket picked in 2014, plays in Yaroslavl of the KHL, so a special goal for him. Under 4 now to go, and 6-0 Russia. As their offense continues to roll. 39 shots on goal. They have given up some chances. There is a concern for Coach Oleg Snarok after this game. That might simply be it.
Another hit to the head Snarok's complaining about. We saw this with Slovakia earlier in the tournament. They get frustrated and they start to run around and take some, well, there's costly penalties in that game. Now it doesn't really matter.
It's turned from costly penalties to cheap shots.
Yeah, it was against Latvia, I believe, when they took some bad ones.
In across the line. Kachev trying to drive it in, could not. And Slovakia will try and regroup. It was a 2-1 game against Latvia when Grevecki took the penalty, and the Latvians got a power play goal to put the game away, and it was late. Anton Belov for Kachev. No room at center for Nemestikov. And Hasek coming back in, but Nemestikov hustled back and knocked it away from him. To the line, no further. Gernat stood his ground and broke that play up. Juraj Mikuš in behind his own net.
Another penalty coming to Russia now.
2 minutes left in the third period.
6 attackers for Slovakia. Gernat sends it back out at center. Chingle is on it. And it's played back and all the way back in behind his own net is Drevecki. Drevecki almost turned it over. They ruled that Barabanov didn't have control of it, so play goes on the delayed call. In across for Gudacek, and now play is whistled down. And a power play coming for Slovakia.
We're going to have to go back a while here to see who is on the ice for this call. It's going to be a slashing. There's Libor Gudacek. His team will go to the power play late. It's going to be Nemesnikov. Gernat and Nemesnikov had something going that shift, and there's Gernat with a little bump, and maybe that's it. But Nemesnikov a little angry probably about that high hit from Janosik that went uncalled. So just a little over under a minute and a half left here. Slovakia still trying to get on the board offensively.
Third power play of the night for Slovakia. Picked up and scooped to the line, but not out. Second try, Provorov will get it outside the line. It's brought back in offside.
Kovsky trying to hold that line as much as he could. Provorov does a nice job just forcing up the wall to make that happen. Oleg's going to rock his team about to move to first place here in Group A.
Libor Gudacek plays it back for Sursin at the line. Sursin back for Gudacek. Russia will have tomorrow off. And will play Latvia on Monday. And then close Tuesday with USA. Tchaikovsky back in behind his own net as we're into the final 40 seconds now. So Russia with the early goal from Dodonov. They got one late in the opening period. Added a couple more in the second. Plotnikov got hooked at center. Play goes on. And here comes Drevecki. In the dying seconds of this one, puts on the brakes against Vasilovic. Gets it back to the line. In the slot, Hashtag trying to get a shot away, could not. And this will get sent out at center. And this one will come to an end as Barabanov will carry it in. And Andrei Vasievsky posts his second shutout of the tournament.
And he deserves this one. Some big saves, some great A scoring chances Slovakia had. And Vasievsky made the key stops. Russia was in control, but sometimes those are the harder ones to pick up when you're not busy, but he gets the job done as Russia.